Shalom, family. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. You know, for probably most of 2025, we notice a big, ugly bruise on Donald Trump's hand, and they used all kinds of excuses, including, oh, he shakes a lot of hands, and that's why he's got that bruise. Well, now his that was his right hand that we saw with the big bruising, and then he start caking makeup on, and makeup don't even match his skin color, but he starts caking makeup on to cover up the bruise. Well, now a big one has appeared on his left hand. So now, now it's they can't use the handshake stuff because you don't shake with your left hand. So now, oh, he said it was aspirin. Then he said he nicked his hand, um, but it looks bad. And Donald Trump, his hands look really big. I mean, real bloated. I don't know why he shouldn't look like that, but he does. Let me go ahead and share my screen. They need to check out why his hands look so swollen. Please give me a 1 if you can see my screen. Thank you.
The big news out of Davos today, that major gathering of world leaders, President Trump landing on Air Force One, then stunning the crowd with a 90-minute address. It was supposed to be about U.S. housing policy, but it turned into a long rebuttal to other world leaders. He told Canada the country, quote, lives because of us. Told the crowd, quote, you'd all be speaking German if not for America. And he mocked Emmanuel Macron of France for wearing sunglasses indoors. And yet, late today, the president announced what he said was a breakthrough on U.S. control of Greenland. So let's get right to senior White House correspondent Ed O'Keefe, who is traveling with the president. Ed, what a day. Good evening to you.
That's one way to put it, Tony. The president's decision to talk more with NATO about the future of Greenland came as he backed off threats of using military force or new tariffs to get what he wants. But his fresh attacks on Europe angered close allies. As the president helicoptered into this swanky Swiss ski town, cameras caught a message for him stamped in the snow. Trump, go home. He acknowledged the tough crowd attending his speech.
So many friends, few enemies.
And made clear he wanted to acquire Greenland, but without using the military.
I don't have to use force. I don't want to use force. I won't use force.
That was a relief for Danish officials who control the island and who had beefed up the security presence on Greenland in recent days. Trump's Arctic focus is widely opposed by Americans, including some here in Davos, like potential future presidential candidate, Kentucky Democratic Governor Andy Beshear.
This is pretty damn stupid. Now you look at what it means.
Y'all, I'm showing you the wrong video. Hold on. Boy, I tell you what, I need to get more rest. All right. This is the right one. I'm sorry, y'all.
Oh, very good. I clipped it on the table. So I put a little, what do they call it, cream on it. But I clipped it. I would say take aspirin if you like your heart, but don't take aspirin if you don't want to have a little bruising. You know, if you take I take the big aspirin. And when you take the big aspirin, they tell you you're bruised. The doctor said, you don't have to take that, sir. You're very healthy. I said, I'm not taking any chances. So anyway, but that's one of the side effects of taking aspirin.
We have some big news right now. This is what Donald Trump's hand looked like today in Davos, Switzerland. This is his left hand. New bruising has appeared on his left hand, and it is very pronounced. Here's another image of what his left hand looks like right now today in Switzerland. And a third image right here, you can see a very dark bruise pronounced on his left hand as he is speaking, announcing his board of peace. These images were taken by Getty and the AFP. Now, what's significant about these images today is that this is his left hand, not his right hand. His right hand had traditionally been the one that has been bruised, as the White House claims, because he shakes a lot of hands. He does not shake a lot of hands with his left hand. And therefore, the question exists, why is this such significant bruising on a hand he doesn't shake other people's hands with? And why isn't the White House giving us more information about the president's health? As always, spread the word, follow along, stay up to date on all the news you need to know about. More to come.
Are you good? This is Donald Trump yesterday, and we can see we have three shades going on here. We have the orange, yellow, whatever's going on the face here, white skin, and then this bruise right here. Now, I thought he got the bruise from shaking people's hands all the time, but that's his left hand. He doesn't shake hands with his left hand. And of course, Kara Lyon Levitt came out today and said, oh, he hit it on a desk. You hit your hand on a desk and this is the bruise it caused? Okay, yeah. If you watched any part of the speech yesterday, it was a mess. He was slurring. He was confusing Greenland with Iceland. He just was stumped over. He looked rough, and now this. Something is going on with this guy. And I believe that we as the American people have the right to know if he is cognitively falling apart or if there's some serious health issues here. We have the right to know. He's the president of this country. He affects us every day. So if there's something wrong, which appears to be, we need to know. Yeah, a desk caused that. I know they're lying to us all the time, but we need answers on this. Something is going on.
New photos has surfaced of Trump's right hand being bruised. And baby, here's the photo right here. This time it is his right hand and not his left hand. And if you remember, KK Caroline saying that the reason that the left hand was bruised was because Trump shakes too many hands. That is the reason why she said his left hand was bruised. So, baby, what is going to be the reason why the right hand is bruised? I know you're not going to say because of too many handshakes. Now, those of us with any sense know that hand bruising can come from a number of things. It can come from your medication, as in blood thinners, aspirin, warfarin. It can come from aging. That would be the right response to say when it comes to hand bruising, not from shaking too many hands. So again, I can't wait to hear what you're going to say about the right hand being bruised this time. I am very curious to find out.
Trump is showing signs of severe bruising on both hands while in Davos, on both his right and his left hands. Check this out. Here's Trump yesterday, and look, you can see he's got some bruising on his hand, and it is covered up by makeup, majorly covered up. You can see it much better here in this photo. The makeup or whatever they're putting on his hand is to cover the really terrible bruising he's suffering from. Look how bad that is. This is now on his left hand. It's normally on his right, and we have seen it on both before, but this is really bad. He's had something done recently. This is not the hand he shakes hands with, so that excuse is completely absurd. I mean, this is really apparently bad. Like, what is going on? He just is unwell. He's confusing Greenland with Iceland. He's slurring his speech a lot. Something is not okay with the president. Then we have this. Air Force One having a turnaround after leaving for Davos, making these unusual maneuvers. Like, what the hell is this about? Is there something else possibly going on here they're not telling us about? They said it was a minor electrical malfunction that they went back for. But what is this about? Are they hiding something going on with him here? What is this? I'm just speculating here on this after seeing the president's condition of his hands and how he's looking with his appearance and speaking. But there's nothing that suggests officially that they turned around for a medical issue. They are saying it was due to this minor electrical malfunction, and that's why they turned back. But those flight maneuvers are bizarre. Regardless, the White House cover-up of the Trump's true physical health condition continues. So let me know what you guys think about this in the comments. Like, share, spread the word, follow, subscribe, and I'll see you back here for the 411.
You guys, the White House just released a statement because Trump showed up to Davos with this giant bruise. This time it's on his left hand, so they can no longer claim that it's from shaking hands, which is a preposterous lie in the first place. By the way, Brian Tyler Cohn, thanks for including this picture of Caroline Levitt. A jump scare warning would have been nice. I'm assuming it's because Caroline is the one who released this statement. At the Board of Peace event today in Davos, President Trump hit his hand in the corner of the signing table, causing it to bruise. First of all, I am honestly less concerned about his hand than I am the color of his face. Like, oh my God. If I looked in the mirror and my face was that color, I would drive myself to the fucking emergency room. I understand that it's probably makeup, but he looks like the poster boy for jaundice. Second of all, there's no way his hand would turn that fucking color within minutes unless he literally slammed it in between two bowling balls. It takes a couple of days, typically, if you have a very extreme injury, for a bruise to turn black like that. It is almost impossible for it to happen immediately. Again, if y'all are going to keep lying, you need to do a better job, because even MAGA is going to start to have some questions.
Trump's left hand is straight up shocking. A massive bruise spreads like a dark storm across his skin, deep purples, murky blues, and streaks of green twisting together in a way that makes it look almost alive. The intensity is unreal. The craziest part, it bears a haunting resemblance to the bruises seen on Elizabeth just days before her passing, giving the mark a chilling, eerie vibe. Nobody knows how it happened. Was it a tumble, a clumsy accident? Some behind. The scene's chaos. Nobody saw. Whatever caused it, the bruise dominates the hand completely, turning it into a dramatic, almost cinematic spectacle. Veins and shadows crawl across the skin like they have their own story, each detail more intense than the last. The size, the depth, the colors, they are impossible to ignore. The hand looks like it's alive, like it's carrying secrets nobody can uncover. Every glance makes your imagination run wild, picturing the moment it formed. This isn't subtle, it's raw, bizarre, and impossible to forget. Trump's left hand has become a spectacle on its own, a living visual drama. Dark, messy, unforgettable. It's not just a bruise, it's a headline, a chaotic story written in color, and it refuses to let anyone look away.
Okay, so we're going to talk about it again, okay? We're going to talk about Donald Trump's hand, but this time not the right one. So we can't blame shaking hands for this because it's the left one. And if you noticed, Donald Trump's left hand, when he was speaking at the Board of Peace meeting, whatever the fuck you call it, his left hand was pretty bruised. Check it out. I'll post some pics. Okay. Check that out. Looks pretty gnarly. Okay. So I have some ideas about what's going on. Hi, I'm Carrie. And when I'm not on TikTok, I work in a hospital as an occupational therapist. I work on all units in the hospital, anywhere from day surgery to the ICU, cardiac, neuro, ortho, med surge, all of it. So I see a lot of people. And this to me looks like someone who very much has pretty significant heart failure at this time, and someone who is on blood thinners. This looks like blood thinners to me. So we know he's taking a lot of aspirin. He's admitted to that. So there's that. But I'm also betting he might be on something called warfarin. If he's been in the hospital lately, something we'll see a lot is people will be on a heparin drip, which is a medication that you give through the IV. And it's for people with very severe risk of blood clots. Or they already have blood clots. So it's to thin the blood very drastically, okay? And so with blood thinners, we're going to see more bruising. We're also going to see more bruising when the blood vessels are weak. They're not doing so well. So I can tell pretty closely just by looking at Donald Trump that his heart is really not doing well. We're noticing that he's sweating a lot. We're also noticing that he's doing this when he's giving speeches, which is actually not what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to do what's called pierced lip breathing. And as we teach it in the hospital, we teach patients to smell the roses in through the nose and exhale through pierced lips. Exhale twice as long as the inhale, and that's a better way to regulate heart rate and help your oxygen from desaturating. So Donald Trump's not doing very well, and I'm betting that he does have some clots. And I wouldn't be surprised if he has something called DVT, deep vein thrombosis. Now, a thrombosis is a formation of a clot. We usually see that in the lower leg vessels. That's DVT. And the risks of that is when a piece of that blood clot breaks off, we call that an embolism. And that can then travel. It can travel to the brain and cause a stroke. It can also travel to the lungs and cause a pulmonary embolism, and that can be very deadly. Now, I'm pretty sure this might already be verified, but it's pretty clear that he's had a stroke before. We're seeing that unilateral lower extremity weakness. I'm seeing a bit of a foot drag when he's walking. It's clear that he's had a stroke before, but I'm kind of predicting that what might be the final straw is a pulmonary embolism, and that one of those clots is going to break off, and travel to the lungs. That's just what I feel like I'm looking at here. And the bruising, he's obviously on a lot of blood thinners. I think it's probably more than just aspirin. I'm sure he's taking prescription warfarin. And if he's in the hospital, he's probably on a heparin drip as well. So he's not doing well. He's really not doing well. You can tell he's struggling with high heart rate, tachycardia, and dyspnea, that shortness of breath that we're hearing. And he's not managing it well. He's not doing the pierced lip breathing. Really, he should be sitting and not standing during these speeches. You can tell his energy is low. He's leaning into the podiums more and more. I'll talk about posture in another video because there's also a term for his specific type of posture. So I'll talk about that maybe in tomorrow's post. Stay tuned.
Well, all I know is he don't look well to me. Every time I see Donald Trump these days, he looks sickly. He looks like there's definitely something going on. Just, sometimes I still see his face drooping, and you can just see a man up in age struggling to do his presidential duty, but he is medically not well. And I can see it, and I know many other people can see it too. Zachariah Williams, thank you so much for the super sticker and your support for my channel. Thank you again for another super sticker. And Madison Mosley, thank you so much for your super sticker, and thank you for your support for my channel. I deeply appreciate it. 3 more years. I don't know, but they're talking, and look, they don't even want elections in 3 years. They think they can forego the elections and keep Donald Trump in indefinitely, which I'm dying to see how they're going to pull that off. And number 2, can he even make it? Like you said, to 2028. That's not even a definite, not the way he looks. He looks awful. Yeah, I think electing 2 back-to-back old men, yeah, you don't need no more old-ass men as your president, but this is what these white folks like. That is really if it was up to us, we would have a younger president, you know? But they like these old, over the hill racist type men. They like that, you know? That's why you had Joe Biden and now you got Donald Trump, 2 back-to-back old-ass men. This is what they like. This is what they like. Somebody old, out of touch, and a racist. That's what they like. Mhm. Wow. No. You know, Deidre, you ain't never lie. He looks awful. And every time I see him, he seems to look worse. And you know, you're not going to get the truth about Donald Trump's health. I mean, look at the ridiculous stuff he says. He had 2 MRIs last year, and he gets on camera talking about he had the perfect MRI. There's no such thing as a perfect MRI. All right. So, you know, that's the kind of ridiculous stuff he says. And you can look at Donald Trump and tell things are not perfect, you know and just those swelling cankles he had, yeah, that's definitely heart problems, definitely. So, y'all, thank you again for being here. Thank you so much, and I will be back probably a little later with another live, but I just want to thank you. I had 2 people donate to my Give, Send, Go today, so I thank you for that. And thank you for your prayers, and thank you for just being there because it really helps. You just can't imagine. So, y'all, I'm going to go ahead and conclude. Please have a wonderful afternoon. And, over half of the country is going into the deep freeze, and we're going to get slammed with snow. So, those of you that are in states that are impacted, be careful and be safe. 13 states have already declared a state of emergency ahead of the storm. So be safe, everybody. Stay warm. And if you can stay off the road, stay off the roads for real. Shalom, family.